Hey, movement explorers out there. This is Faria Doctor, your movement detective, and welcome to this IG Live where we're going to be exploring movement and breath. And how are you today? Hey, Farzana, nice to see you. How are you feeling today? How are you moving? How are you breathing? Hey, Carolyn, great to see you. Welcome, everyone. And we're going to be exploring movement and breath. And Elizabeth, great to see you too. Ah, that's great. Thanks for joining. And how are you feeling? All right, let's get started. Okay, so find a seat where you are comfortable. I'm using my flat surface seat, my Core 360 chair, my favorite chair in the world. It's very movable, but flat surface. But whatever you can find, it has a flat surface. Have a seat and just take a moment to feel how you're breathing, how you're sitting. Do you feel like you're sitting evenly in your chair? Just notice where you're balancing your head over your pelvis, and just take a couple of breaths. Say hello to your body, and let's take a few minutes to take care of our spine and our breath today. So join me in doing some movements that may seem really familiar, but there's so much to movement. There's so much detail to notice that is so interesting about you. So this is about you, and let's begin by doing a small, gentle movement, and some of you might call this a cat-cow movement, where you're rounding, coming to neutral, and then doing this sort of gentle arching movement, and coming to neutral, and rounding again. And just notice how you round your back. How comfortable is it? Can you keep the movement really smooth and gentle so that you're not overstretching your back? You don't want to create strain in your back. You want it to feel easy, fluid, and gentle. And breathing the way you feel comfortable breathing. And just noticing how you're breathing as you're doing this movement of rounding and coming to neutral and arching. And notice that my head is always over my pelvis. So I'm not rounding and tipping back or tipping forwards. I'm thinking about the two balls on the stick. And so that as I round and come to neutral, I'm bringing my head over my pelvis. And then as I'm arching, I'm again trying to make sure my head is over my pelvis so that I'm not straining my back. So some of you might call this the cat-cow movement. I call this the slinky movement. So here is my slinky. And so when you do this movement, you want to feel like you're as evenly as possible doing this movement of rounding and arching. And so that your head and pelvis kind of come into alignment as the spine moves. So you can play a little bit with that. And how do you breathe when you do that movement? Some people find that they inhale in a certain direction. So you might find that you breathe in, and then you breathe out as you round. So whichever way you're doing it, can you reverse your breath? So if you're used to, let's say, breathing in when you arch, could you exhale? Just try it, see what it feels like. It might feel a little odd, it might feel easy. So you're breathing out and breathing in. And why is it interesting to reverse the breath as you do a movement that you find very typical, very common, but changing your breathing pattern helps you, in a way, discover some interesting things about how you like to move and how you like to breathe. And then it also gives you the opportunity to decouple or disconnect and free your body up to breathe and move the way you choose to for a particular activity. So if you were to round your back to, let's say, reach your shoe or tie your lace, it's not so easy to breathe into your chest. It's better to be able to breathe into your back when you're in this position. But if you're reaching for something, it might be easier for you to breathe more to the front of your body, into the front part of your lungs, as opposed to the back part of your lungs. So just play a little bit with that, staying curious and open about how you like to move, noticing your breath, and then go back to what you originally prefer doing. Just go back to that and notice if that has gotten easier for you. Has that gotten a little bit easier now for you to move the way you normally move and breathe? Does it feel smoother or lighter or a little more mobile in your body? All right, so now let's turn our attention to how we like to tune in to the movement. Do we do the movement a little bit off center? Now, I know I do, and one of the reasons I know so well is because I have this chair, my Core 360 chair. So you will notice that as I round my back, that I have a preference to leaning a little bit more to one side. And as I arch, I have a preference to leaning a little bit more the other way. I don't know if you can see that preference, but I can certainly feel it more because I've got this movable yet stable flat surface to move on. So I can tell that if I'm sitting, I might slump a certain direction. Now I know this chair has saved my back from sitting for long periods of time. It saved my spine. And I don't have pain anymore when I sit for a long period of time because I can feel if I'm starting to lean one way or the other. And I can find my midline. Why is finding midline so important? Because we want to be efficient as possible with our spine so that we can reduce the wear and tear on different areas. We even out the usage and the functionality of each side of our spine. So as you're doing this movement, rounding and arching, this slinky movement, can you feel how you can swing a little bit more one way, but could you play a little bit with swinging the other way? And how could you make it slow enough that you can talk to the different sides of your rib cage and your spine so that you can satisfy a little bit more efficiency in the movement through the midline of your vertebrae, through the midline of your back. And as you see, I'm wiggling around a little bit, but moving very slowly and being attentive to where I am tipping to. Just that little bit of attention is just really beautiful to be able to take care of yourself and your spine and know what you're doing when you're doing it. There's something so delightful when you can explore and discover something unique about you, about the way you move. You become your own movement detective. So someone's saying that they can find the middle a little more easier because they're shifting more easily in their Core 360 chair. And yes, absolutely. I also noticed that because I have the ability to fine tune. You can find it when you're sitting on a flat chair, but go a little slower and just notice if your head is traveling straight down the midline, or are you finding your chin is pointing a little bit one way or the other? Just feeling and playing a little bit with, well, can I play with both sides and move in both directions so that I can feel a little more versatile in my ability to move through my spine? So thanks for your comments. And if you have any insights or questions for me, please reach out. You can DM me here, or if it's a little more personal and you want to reach out personally, you can send me an email at fariadoctor.com, contact@fariadoctor.com to send me an email with any of your questions or insights about this movement. And I just wanted to thank you for joining me. And if you have any questions about this chair, please reach out. If you're curious about how it will work for you and your ability to feel comfortable when you're sitting for long periods of time, I'm happy to answer any questions. Thanks so much for joining me for this Instagram Live, and stay tuned next week where we're going to be doing a little more exploring and breathing. Have a great day.